This is a walkthrough of how to submit waivers. It's changed a little bit in the last couple of years, so I just wanted to make sure I updated a video and let you know how this works. So what you want to do, I should become the owner first here. What you want to do is go to your Owners tab and go to Add Drops. Once you click on that, you'll see a screen like this. The way that you want to do this is you want to find the player that you want to add. And there's lots of ways to sort this. Again, they try to make it just like the draft. You can go by team here. You can go by position. Say I want a running back, for example, and I want to go after LeGarrette Blount or something like that. All right. So if I kick LeGarrette Blount here, then I have to select a player to drop from my team. So I would select, let's say I'm going to select, who am I going to select? Running Ty Montgomery, for example. So you have to do that on both sides. You have to select a player here and there, unless you have dropped a player earlier in the week and you have a free roster spot. So again, we have 19 roster spots plus an injured reserve. So if you have 19 available slots for a roster, then you're going to have to drop one. If you have 18, for example, you don't have to do this part in this side. You just go on this side. But the important thing here is this down here, you have to enter in an amount. You get $1,000 for the season. Once that runs out, you're done. You can bid $1 at the minimum. And how this works is you put in the amount that you want to bid. Let's say I want to put in, $50 or something like that. And then there's these claim groups. Now, eventually this will increase as you submit stuff, right? So if I wanted to do this, I'm just going to submit this. I'll delete it later. I would put in group 1 and submit the request. Okay. So now up top, you'll see that you have submitted this request. Now, let's say I want to add, how it works is if you don't get LeGarrette Blount, who else do you want in his place? Let's say you don't get the bid for LeGarrette Blount. Let's say I'm going to go after somebody else like, I don't know, Cameron Artis-Payne. Okay. Here's how you do this. If you want to drop the same player but go after different players in a tier, say if I don't get LeGarrette Blount, then I want Cameron Artis-Payne. Then you would do the same thing. I'm going to drop Ty Montgomery. I'm going to bid $50 for him as well and add him to claim group 1, submit the request. Now I'm going to see 2, right? So how this works is in the group 1, you're going to go after the system's going to say, okay, he wants LeGarrette Blount first for $50. If that's the highest bid, you'll win him. If LeGarrette Blount if you're outbid on LeGarrette Blount, it's going to go to the next person in the tier, which is Cameron Artis-Payne for the same amount. That's what the system is doing with this, okay? So you can put in as many people as you want, many positions. You can have like 8 people in a tier. If I don't get this guy, and you go on down the list of 8. The next part of this is the most important part, and this is where people get screwed up. We are not a authentically true blind bid waiver system. We're a blind bid waiver system with tiers. So what happens is, let's say, for example, I get LeGarrette Blount. Now I want a wide receiver for my next pick. Now I would have already put, what I'm going to do is I would have put this guy in this group 1. Because if I don't get LeGarrette Blount or Artis-Payne, I want this wide receiver. Let's say I'm just going to choose some random wide receiver. I'm going to go after, I don't know who these guys are, Marlon Brown. Okay, so say I want Marlon Brown, and what I want to do in this group is I still want to drop Ty Montgomery in this case. I mean, you can choose whoever you want. In this case, I'm just, for argument's sake, I'm going to choose Ty Montgomery, and I'm going to say I'm going to bid $25 for him, but add him to 1. Now look, you have choices now. Now that I have a different guy, I can put tier 2 or tier 1. What you want to do first is tier 1, okay? I'm going to submit the request, and then you'll see him in this group. Now, this is where it gets really important. Now, let's say I do get LeGarrette Blount, but I also want Marlon Brown. What I need to do then is I need to go to to choose Marlon Brown again, all right? Let me go find him here. Here's Marlon Brown. And now I need to drop a different player because you can't drop the same player twice, obviously. So I need to drop a different player. Let's say I'm going to drop, let's see which wide receiver I got here. I'm going to drop, gosh, I have good wide receivers. I'm going to drop Tyler Lockett, okay? So in this case, I'm going to keep it at $25. But now I'm going to add him to claim group 2, okay? So now you see here at the top, I've got here's tier 1, and then here's tier 2. What happens in the system and how it works is the system will go through all the tier 1 players. This is what I have to manually do this. All the tier 1 players and find out where the bids are. Whoever has the highest bid in tier 1 for that player will get that player. But let's say, for example, that someone, Marlon Brown is here for $25, but let's say that I got LeGarrette Blount and someone else bid $15 on Marlon Brown, but did it in the first tier. That owner would get Marlon Brown at $15 because they bid in tier group 1. Does that make sense? So because it's tier group 1, this is the first player that you're going for, he's going to get Marlon Brown cheaper than what you put him in for because you already got LeGarrette Blount. Now, if you didn't get either of these two running backs, then you would get Marlon Brown if you bid $25 because you put him in the first tier. That's why you put him in the first tier. Then in the second tier, you can put in Marlon Brown at $25 in case you don't get him and someone doesn't bid on Marlon Brown, you're going to get Marlon Brown as well. Now, this is where it gets interesting. Let's say I want to pick up a kicker as well because I don't like my kicker. All right, let's say I'm going to pick up Chandler Catanzaro, and I'm going to drop the kicker I currently have, which is Harrison Butker, which I wouldn't do, but hey. And let's say I'm going to bid $5 for him, okay? I'm going to put him in claim group 2, all right, just in case I don't get Marlon Brown. All right, so now I have him tiered. Now, here's a really interesting part of this. You can take these groups and copy them to the next tier. So say I want to copy them to the next tier, I would go copy to group 3, then watch what happens. Now Marlon Brown and Chandler has been copy to here, and then what I can do here is delete Marlon Brown, just like this, and now I have what I want. So that's a really easy way to do it. Once you submit all your tier 1 and you want to kind of tier it out, that's how you would do it. So for example, let's do this. Let me add the place kicker to the first group, and this I'll show you how I do it. Okay. We'll delete you and you. Okay. So I'm going to go to add the place kicker real quick. Catanzaro for Butker. Now I'm going to do Butker because I want kicker for kicker. I'm going to go $5 for that. I'm going to enter in the tier 1. Now watch what happens. Copy to group 2. Boom. Right? I don't need LeGarrette Blount. I don't need Cameron Artis-Payne. Okay? But now I have a chance of getting Marlon Brown. All right, now I have a kicker too. I'm going to copy this to group 3, delete Marlon Brown, and now I have exactly how I want it. I'm going to go after these guys. I'm going to get, if I don't get LeGarrette Blount, Cameron Artis-Payne's next. If I don't get him, Marlon Brown's next. If I don't get him, Chandler Catanzaro's next with the appropriate dropped players. Second tier, if I get any one of these guys, then I move to the next tier. Let's say I get LeGarrette Blount. Then I'm going to go after Marlon Brown, and now I have to change. I have to edit this, right? Because now in tier 2, I have to edit the receiver I'm dropping, so I'm going to switch this to Tyler Lockett. So that's important. All right, save waiver request. There we go. So now I got it correct. Tier 2, now I get, because I can't drop Ty Montgomery twice, now I'm Tyler Lockett. Then Chandler Catanzaro for Butker. If I get Marlon Brown, I'm also going to have to go after the kicker, and I'll get the kicker, which means I get 3 players total if this works out like I want it to. If not, I'll at least get 1 or 2 players, or none if you're outbid on all of them, okay? That's how it works. Hopefully that really explains it enough. You got to make sure you select players on either side unless you have an empty roster spot to fill, and you have to make sure you put the bid here of the amount you have, and it'll always tell you how much you have left here, which is really nice. So, and then the claim groups are there if you want to keep adding stuff, okay? Hopefully that gives you a good idea of how it works. If you got any questions, don't hesitate to contact me, and good luck. If I can find out how to stop this.